So what were some mistakes that you think you looking back that you made with the first, with getting started? And while you speaking on that, what are some typical mistakes that a person, going down that road, just kind of getting started, would make in relationship to the mistakes that you made?
Well, one of the main things that I made, the mistakes that I made there is, first of all, I was at trainings, but I didn't apply what I learned, right? So one of the basics was, it's a contact sport. You got to contact a lot of people. And I think I contacted, I don't know, less than 20 people, right? Now, and when I got a couple no's, I was emotionally attached to the no's. And this is normal, but it can be done to where you're like, even though I got to know, I got to keep going, keep going, keep going. Because see, an 18-year-old kid with no results, your peers don't respect you, older people don't respect you, and that's the only people you can recruit is your peers. I was 18, and you have to be 18 and over to get started, and then people older. So I did have a really tough time, but one of the things that I did do right is, I heard a saying, they say, if you stick and stay, you'll get your pay. If you stick and stay, you'll get your pay. And so I started getting better. I started growing as a person, growing. And so, but what I did is, that company ended up having problems. They went away. They shut down for a while. Then they rebranded and launched a few times. So I left and I started knocking on doors. I started doing door-to-door sales. And in door-to-door sales, I built very thick skin because you get rejection all day.
I did door-to-door sales for 15 years, dude.
Wow.
I sold Kirby vacuums for 15 years.
Nice. Oh, that kind of stuff, builds some of the strongest people ever, right?
100.
Like, what do they say? Like something like 9 months door-to-door is the equivalent of like 4-year degree or something like that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, bro. So I started doing door-to-door sales, and Monday through Friday, I used to wake up at 7 in the morning, leave my house by 8, be at the office by 9. By 11, we'd be headed to the field, and we would knock from 12 to 8 with a 30-minute break at 3 o'clock for lunch. And that was Monday through Friday. And then Saturday's the exact same thing, but we finished at 6 versus 8. And I did that, boom, 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 for about 9 months, right? And so after I was done, the reason why I was done with that is because my mom was losing her house. So her real estate broker says, come work for me and I'll help your mom save the house. So leave your job door to door, come work for me and I'll help your mom save the house. So I didn't really have a choice. So I said, I want to help my mom save her house. So I did that. But I remember thinking, if I apply what I learned here in network marketing, not to worry about rejection, to go through a massive amount of numbers, I can crush it. So I looked for a company and I ended up joining a company back then called Prepaid Legal. It's now called Legal Shield. And I made $300 my first week. But see, now I'm about 2 years older, right? About 1.5 years, 2 years older. I got a lot of experience. I got a new market, but I got a different mind. So I went to town, bro. I started recruiting, right? And I just had more posture and whatnot. And I was more consistent, more disciplined. And, we just, and then I immersed myself. I made a decision like, hey, listen, I'm going to go and make it happen no matter what. And I went and I hit one of the top positions in that company.
How long would you say that took you from the time you got in? I mean, how long was that? You got in and
it took me about 2 years, 2.5 years to hit that position, consistent. Like every week I was doing meetings, every week I was attending the training, every week I was going to the weekly opportunity meeting with like a couple hundred people. And then throughout the day doing presentations, phone calls, like full time, like going full time. And back then, an executive director would make about $2,000, $3,000. I think I was averaging maybe $2,200, $2,500, but that was enough for me in my early 20s to pay my bills. And I figured, hey man, I'm gonna just take this to the top. And I was gun-ho. But then here's what happened. This is around 2004, okay? So I see an ad for real estate. I said, I'll go check it out. Why not? So I go, then I see the potential of real estate. Long story short, I get into real estate. I figured I could do this simultaneously. I could do real estate with that. So my first deal paid me $6,000. My second deal was already in escrow before my first deal paid me. So I had $16,000 coming, like it with 1 month's work. I got one friend of mine to refinance his house, because I was working with an office where you could do the loan and the real estate, right? You're not supposed to do that, but you know, I didn't know any better. So I'm doing a refi. Yeah, I'm doing a refi for, you know, that's going to pay me $6,000. Then I have a sale that's about to pay me $10,000. So I made $16,000 like this. Then I said, damn, it took me a lot of time to make $2,500 with this other, with prepaid legal network marketing. So I kind of, little by little, I kind of got the money sucked me into real estate. Nothing wrong with that. Real estate is a great industry. And so I kind of left my business in the back burner. Little by little, my check started going down, and I just left the business, which I later regretted. I don't regret it now, but back then I did. And so I rode the real estate boom until the boom crashed. So from 2004 to December 2007, the real estate market crashed. Basically, the way it's happening right now, I believe the real estate market is gonna. I think we're gonna repeat it 2008. I think it may even be worse. So we learned from it though. So I was making six figures in my mid-20s, early 20s, mid-20s, making six figures, and I'm spending it as fast as it's coming in. You know, you think it's gonna come like that all the time. And so when the market crashes, I lost the house, lost my car, lost everything, got kicked out of an apartment eventually that I moved to. And I mean, I just hit rock bottom. And I remember thinking, I know network marketing. I should have never let my business die, basically. Because even though I was making good money, the leadership in that company wasn't very mature yet. And so I said, I'm going to get a part-time job. I even said, let's see if there's such a thing as credit repair. Back then, credit repair wasn't common. I didn't even know there was such a thing as credit repair. But I remember having so many people that declined. So I said, if there was such a thing as credit repair, I could crush it. I could make a lot of sales. And so I said, I'm going to get a job just enough to pay my basic bills, and I'm going to go 100% into network marketing, right? So I got a job. I found on a newspaper the only credit repair company back in 2007, December 2007, that I found. So I called the company up, and I say, some guy that named George, he's still a friend of mine, George Hernandez. I called George. I said, hey, George, I called the office, and I said, can I speak to the person in charge or the manager? They put me on the phone with George. And I said, George, how you doing? My name is JC. And I give him my spiel. I'm a real estate agent getting out of the business. As you know, the market's crashing. And I want to be I would like to work for you and your company and bring you, I got a lot of clients that declined. And I like to bring you some business. And he said, no. He said, no, we're not hiring. I said, well, I'm not asking for a salary or an hourly. I'm just kind of like an affiliate. I just want to bring you deals and make commissions on those deals. I was wondering, why in the world wouldn't he accept that? He still said, no, we're not hiring. And he hung up on me. But that was the only credit repair company that I found. And I was looking for a few weeks. So I said, forget that. So the next day I show up to the office, suited and booted like I got an interview, but I didn't have an interview. So I asked for George, do you have an appointment? I said, yes, 8 a.m. I have an appointment at 8 a.m. Oh, okay. So they call him and he comes. He doesn't know what I look like because we talked on the phone. So he says, yeah, hi, can I help you? I said, yes, how you doing, George? You and I talked yesterday on the phone. Remember me? I'm JC, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, didn't I tell you that we're not hiring? I said, you did tell me that you're not hiring, but I thought that I'd come and meet you because you should hire me. You should work with me. And I just need 5 minutes of your time, and you'll see why you need to work with me.
Nice.
So he still says no. And I don't know what I told him, but something along the lines of, I'm not leaving till you sit down with me for 5 minutes, whether it's in your office or outside. He says, come on in. So we sit down in his office, and he's got like a little water fountain thing in his desk. And I said, listen, man, if you want me to go sell this thing outside, I'll go sell it. And then I noticed he had people there on the phones. And I said, those people right there on the phones, do you provide lease room? And reluctantly he answers, he says, yeah. I said, you give me 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I will outsell every one of them out there. I will make you more than every one of them out there, and I'll do it without you giving me one single lead. I just need you to give me some contracts. Even the company business cards. I don't even need my own business cards. I'm going to leave your office with a little bit of training. I'm going to leave your office, and I'm going to come back with signed contracts and money, and you give me a percentage of that money. Why wouldn't you give me a job? And he goes, reluctantly, eventually he goes, fine, I'll give you a chance. Be here tomorrow, so-and-so time, I'm going to train you. Sure. I'm there. About 2-3 weeks into it, I make like $2,500 in 1 week in commissions, and I smoked everybody there, right? And everybody there is relying on leads because they do radio ads, they do newspaper ads. Back then, this is in 2007. They still did newspaper ads, like classified ads and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting fed the leads. These people are getting fed the leads. And I'm over here I'm visiting, bro. I was visiting from 9 a.m. till about 2 p.m. I was visiting probably 20 to 40 offices, real estate, mortgage, and everything in between. So let's say I went to a shopping center that there was a real estate office in. I'd hit up the real estate office. Then I'd hit up everybody there. And I was just going down the list. Boom, 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 boom. So my first week didn't make any sales. Second week, I made about $1,700. Third week, I made about $2,700. And I'm smoking everybody, and I'm not asking them for a single lead. Why? Because I know how to prospect. I have the door-to-door experience. I have the network marketing experience. And then I got grit because when I was 18 years old, bro, I graduated from high school. I didn't have a social security number. So I graduated from high school. All my friends are going to school. They're getting student loans, going partying. They're getting student loans for their loans and their books. And I go to school because that's what they told me to do. And I'm like, yeah, I like to go, come to school and stuff. They're like, well, you don't qualify for, these grants or whatever, these student loans. You have to pay for everything yourself. But I didn't have a social security number, so I couldn't get a job, right? Try to go get a job, you can't. You are an illegal alien. We can't hire you. And then, so I go to school. They're like, you got to pay for your books. I'm like, how can I pay for the books when I can't legally get a job? I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're like, you can't help. You got to pay for it. And I'm like, and I'm not even helping. I felt useless at 18 years old. I can't even help my mom, right? This is the reason why I noticed at that time that's the reason why a lot of kids in my neighborhood got into drugs and gangs, because they felt frustrated. They felt like they weren't given a fair shake. Then a friend of my mom's says, you need to go. So I'm back to this story. Obviously, I backtracked till I was 18, but he says, you need to go to the military. They'll send you to war. Mind you, I graduated 2001. This story I'm telling you is late September 2001, 2 weeks after 9/11. He says, you got to go to the military. They'll send you to war, but you'll get your papers. I said, bet. That next day, I'm on Belgrave and Pacific in the city of Huntington Park, California, at the Marine Corps Station. And I talked to the guy there, the recruiter. I said, I want to be a Marine. Come on in. Starts talking to me. Then he finds out I don't have a social security number. He says, we can't help you. A few years ago, we were able to help people in your position. Not anymore. So now I can't get a job. I can't get student loans to go to school. And I can't join the military, right? That's when I was recruited into network marketing. And I told the guy, I don't have a social security number. This one, I was at the Starbucks and they showed me about the .com and the online malls. And I said, I don't have a social security number. He says, don't worry. We can get you a tax ID number if you like the business, and you can work with a tax ID number. So that's how I started. And at 19, I finally got my social security number. That's when I started knocking on doors. But the point is, the grit, the mindset I got because throughout high school, I was a karate world champion. I won a world title in karate when I was 17, but I tried since I was 11. So I tried, I had been trained since I was 11, and at 17, I won a world title. So, but before I won a world title, I broke my ankle, I broke my nose, cracked ribs. So that sport develops a bulletproof mindset. Being an immigrant and not have, like my friends are driving at 16, I cannot drive at 16. I don't have a license. I don't have a social security number. I can't get a license. And then all of the struggles, and when I turn 18. So when I would see kids now that their parents give them everything and they make it easy, I'm like, they're not doing them any favors. They're not developing this kid for the real world, because the real world is tough. You know what I mean? And you got to develop grit. If not, it's going to be it's a dog eat dog world, right? So anyways, man, that's kind of my story.